Living expenses have been on the rise globally. In just the United States, the cost of housing, services, groceries, amenities, and all the basic necessities of daily life can add up to a sum of $3,500 to $4,800 a month. Similarly, monthly spendings in most of the first world nations. In Europe, North America, and Australia are exorbitant. Due to this high cost of living, most white and blue-collar workers spend their salaries and earnings on day-to-day living, hence there is no margin for savings. However, if you are a remote worker, passive earner, or a retiree, it's better to move abroad to a different country where you can spend a small portion of your income or pension and receive better bang for your buck. Many people are quite fond of this idea, and just in the last 5 years or so, 2.7 to 3.2% of US citizens have opted to relocate to cheaper alternatives. In this video, we have listed the best countries in the world to live on the cheapest monthly budget of just $1,000. In most of these nations, a budget of $1,000 can easily cover rent for a 1 or 2 bedroom well-furnished abode, along with groceries, services, and all the everyday essentials. While it's evident that more touristic or upscale areas in these nations may be pricier, but on average, $1,000 a month is more than enough, and many locals thrive on even less. On the downside, most of these cheaper countries come with some obvious cons, like underdeveloped healthcare system, bureaucratic hurdles, and higher than average crime rates. Nevertheless, here are the best countries you can live on a budget of $1,000 per month. Number 12, Bosnia and Herzegovina. One of the least visited and explored country in the Balkan Peninsula of Europe, Bosnia and Herzegovina hosts a blend of East and West. Not many people tend to stay in this country, and it only receives seasonal visitors and nomads. But then again, those who have visited speak positively of it. The natural landscapes, Dinaric Alps, rivers, lakes, national parks, and a strong sense of community attract those who value a slower pace of life. Its city of Sarajevo and Mostar are the main point of interest for internationals, as both of these localities are the most developed. Plus, there are a handful of international communities that are pretty active socially residing in and around both of these cities. Though English isn't always widely spoken, but the younger generations are becoming more fluent as they learn it as a second language at school. The cost of living is extremely low by global standards. Prices of food and transport are minimal, and decrease even further if you gravitate a bit further away from Sarajevo. Most locals easily reside on a monthly budget of just around $700 a month. But if you are a foreigner, expect to spend at least $1,000 to $1,200 US per month here. On the downside, the standard of healthcare is not up to the standards, but if you are a remote worker with robust health, basic clinics for routine checkups are widely available. In a nutshell, Bosnia and Herzegovina is a budget-friendly, culturally rich place to live with more potential if you bring income in a foreign currency. Number 11, Jamaica. Located 600 miles south of Florida, Jamaica is the largest English-speaking island in the Caribbean Sea. The living costs in Jamaica are the lowest out of all the Caribbean islands, and its economy heavily leans on its tourism industry. Many foreign nationals are not keen on relocating to Jamaica. This is all due to its higher than average crime rates in the Caribbean. However, its crime rate has significantly decreased in the last 3 years or so. And for internationals, There are many sanitized areas and gated communities where one can live without any fear. Still, moving to Jamaica requires you to stay vigilant and adjust some personal habits, especially if you're used to places where safety is less of a concern. Additionally, healthcare is something you'll need to consider seriously. While Jamaica has state-sponsored healthcare for all legal residents, the quality of hospitals varies, with the best facilities typically near tourist areas. That said, this tropical paradise is blessed not only with scenic beaches, but also lush rainforests, soaring mountains, and warm, friendly people with their unmistakable accents. The cost of living is very low. A budget of just $1,000 can give access to a sumptuous living space and amenities. Number 10. Tanzania. Tanzania is the largest country in East Africa and includes the islands of Zanzibar, Pemba, and Mafia. The mainland itself isn't as appealing to live. However, its island of Zanzibar is often compared to the likes of Maldives and French Polynesia. But unlike most tropical islands, Zanzibar is very cheap. A budget of $1,000 can grant a lavish lifestyle here. In recent years, the government of the country has started offering incentives to foreign investors, encouraging them to buy property and start a business on the island of Zanzibar. Many savvy investors have bought seaside properties and turned them into vacation homes or hospitality sites. Due to this sudden surge, more and more internationals have started visiting. Hence, the overall atmosphere of the island has turned more cosmopolitan. Many people from Scandinavia, Central Europe, and Asia have settled permanently here. Bear in mind, despite the relatively low cost of living, eating Western food, frequenting fine dining restaurants, and luxury travel within the country can be costly. So, taking local transport and shopping at local grocery stores are two ways in which expats can decrease their cost of living in Tanzania. Accommodation overall is cheaper, but rental prices near the sea and in newly built apartment complexes with 24/7 security and amenities can be high. Number 9. Cambodia. Located on the Indo-Chinese mainland of Southeast Asia, Cambodia is a land of plains and rivers that lies amid important overland and river trade routes. Cost of living in both of its neighboring nations, Thailand and Vietnam, are significantly higher. As a matter of fact, expenses in Cambodia's capital, Phnom Penh, are almost 65% lower than the likes of Bangkok and Hanoi. Many report that it is possible to enjoy all the entertainment options the country has on offer and still have plenty of money to save in the end of the month. Accommodation varies in price, with the capital being the priciest place to live. There are noticeable variances in rental prices, so it is best to shop around. Most of the people who move to Cambodia usually settle in its capital, making it easy to meet people and make friends. Moreover, the standard of the local healthcare system might be significantly lower than what most people from Western countries are used to. But fortunately, there are several excellent international hospitals here, most of which are located in the capital. Getting around is also very convenient here. Many people seldom go for weekend trips in nearby Thailand. Number 8. Belize. An underrated gem from Central America, Belize is situated right below Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula. In comparison to Costa Rica, El Salvador, and Panama, living expenses in Belize have always stayed nominal. It is the ideal relocation destination for those wanting a simple life, surrounded by picturesque natural attractions and friendly locals. The Belizean government's positive attitude towards business and its implementation of tax breaks, as well as the country's favorable property prices, have also served to attract non-citizens looking to start businesses or for investment opportunities. Furthermore, being the only country in Central America to have English as the official language is the main reason for its popularity among expats from the United States, United Kingdom, and Canada. Living expenses in Belize vary from one place to another, but collectively as a whole, one can still live off pretty well on a monthly budget of just $1,000. Number 7. Ecuador. A patchwork of ethnic identities, Ecuador boasts a complex legacy of its indigenous and colonial past. Last year, it was on the news for all the wrong reasons. Violent crimes in its city of Guayaquil was rampant. But apart from certain areas, its cities of Cuenca and Quito are considerably safe. Though with any large city in the world, it's better to steer clear of certain neighborhoods. Besides the interior cities, its coastal stretch from Santa Marta to the beach city of Manta is very safe. Many retirees from North America have settled and bought cheap seafront apartments near these coastal parts. Moreover, it's easy to obtain a permanent residency in Ecuador. Specifically under the rentista visa, individuals need to demonstrate a monthly income of just $1,300. This income must be from a passive source such as investments, rental income, or annuities. Overall, the cost of daily necessities, such as groceries and utilities, is reasonable, and public transport is highly affordable. Number 6. The Philippines. The Philippines is a string of more than 7,000 islands, and it's the perfect place to live if you enjoy beautiful white sandy beaches, island hopping, and delicious fruits. For expats and digital nomads alike, Cebu City and Manila are the first picks. Both cities are very, very big, yet economical, with a ton of things to do, as well as a thriving nightlife scene. While Davao City is a much quieter and more relaxed place, where one can live quite well for under $1,000, making it an excellent retirement destination. On the other hand, those who want the best out of Philippines can gravitate towards Boracay and Palawan Island, but living expenses can double in both of these localities. On the contrary, it is highly advised to be mindful of practical concerns. Bureaucracy can be slow, power outages are not uncommon, and while major cities have high-quality healthcare, rural areas still offer obsolete medical facilities. Moreover, security varies across the regions, and most foreign governments advise against travel to certain parts of its Mindanao region. Number 5. Colombia. Lining up along the Caribbean and Pacific shores, Colombia features white sands, clear blue waters, and scores of charming restaurants, resorts, and recreational activities. According to expat arrivals, monthly costs including rent, utilities, groceries, and transport typically range from $700 to $1,000 for a one-bedroom city apartment in Medellin or Bogotá. While its coastal cities like Santa Marta also provide great living standards on a very low cost of living. Though safety remains a concern in certain areas, petty theft, higher charges for foreigners, and traffic chaos in major cities are common complaints. Limited English proficiency among locals and landlords makes integration and negotiations challenging for non-Spanish speakers, unless they employ a reliable agent or learn the language. Furthermore, healthcare is world-class and surprisingly affordable, with both public and private options available. Procedures often cost far less than in the United States. And last but not the least, obtaining one of its long-term visa and residency programs is very easy. In most cases, Applicant only needs to showcase a steady income to support themselves during their stay. Number 4. Albania. Situated in southeastern Europe on the Balkan Peninsula, Albania is blessed with pristine Adriatic and Ionian coastlines and the imposing Albanian Alps. This Balkan nation has been gaining lots of traction in the last 5 years or so. Its coastal areas, such as Saranda, Durrës, and Vlorë, receive the highest number of internationals. Some of the people who visit Albania often turn their stay in a permanent affair. This is all thanks to its affordable living costs, great weather, and the overall atmosphere of its shorelines, which often rivals to those in neighboring Greece. Its capital city of Tirana is also considerably cheaper. Rent, utilities, services, and groceries cost way less than other European capitals. Nowadays, a single person can live quite easily for under a monthly budget of $1,000, but this sum can increase in peak seasons. Most importantly, it is a relatively safe country for foreigners. Though petty crimes such as pickpocketing and scams can happen, but they mostly occur in its heavily touristic sites. Its public transport system is outdated, and the train system can be unreliable. But better yet, getting a private car in Albania is fairly easy. Number 3. Lithuania. Lithuania is the largest and most southerly of the 3 Baltic nations, stretching from the Baltic Sea in the west to Belarus in the east. Out of the 3 Baltic nations, Estonia is the most expensive, and the second one is Latvia, while the country of Lithuania and its capital are the least expensive. Sure, median cost of living in its capital Vilnius is currently rising due to high rates of inflation, but still, it is not as expensive as the other Baltic capitals. Average rent for a 1-bedroom apartment in Vilnius starts from $500. Transport, services, and groceries are also nominal. And with some extra budgeting, living on $1,000 a month is quite doable. But if you want to avail everything Vilnius has on offer, from its entertainment options to wellness retreats, a monthly budget of $1,500 is necessary. Plus, the language is notoriously difficult to learn, but the literacy rate in its capital is very high, and English is understood by most locals. For some, another downside is its cold and chilly climate in the winter months. But this does allow plenty of opportunities for winter sports such as skiing and ice skating. Number 2. Brazil. Back in the 1970s and 1980s, Brazil was a top destination for tourists, retirees, and expats alike, all drawn by its tropical charm, idyllic beaches, vibrant culture, low cost of living, and year-round sunshine. It was the quintessential retreat for those looking to unwind and embrace a slower, more joyful pace of life. While times have changed, Brazil still holds immense appeal. The main drawback today is the prevalence of crime in major urban centers, but choosing well-regarded neighborhoods can mitigate risks and deliver much safer surroundings. Cities like Florianopolis, Curitiba, Brasilia, and Campinas consistently rank among the safest and most livable in the country, featuring reliable healthcare, green spaces, and strong international communities. Besides the clichés, the median living expense in Brazil are very low. A budget of $1,000 is more than enough to support a comfortable lifestyle. All things considered, Brazil's cultural diversity, stunning beaches, lush landscapes, and affordable private healthcare enhance its appeal for long-term living. And at number 1, Bulgaria. Cited as one of the most affordable EU countries to live in, especially for expats, retirees, and digital nomads, Bulgaria encompasses 230 miles of picturesque Black Sea coastline and breathtaking mountain ranges. Cities like Sofia, Plovdiv, Varna, and Burgas offer diverse options: modern apartments, countryside farmhouses, and coastal homes. In addition, it is a fairly developed country, with all the modern-day services and amenities at arm's length. As in any country, crime does exist in Bulgaria. However, violent crimes are rare. Only petty crimes, like theft and tourist scamming, is common. The government of country has also introduced different tax reliefs to attract foreign investors. As a matter of fact, foreigners can even establish a company here to obtain permanent residency status. So living here in the long run is great for all, be it for expats, retirees, or digital nomads, is straightforward and easy. Thanks for watching. If you find this video informative, be sure to leave a like. If not, then leave a dislike, and don't forget to subscribe for more amazing content.